does history repeat itself? Does Edwin De Los Santos knock out Jose Valenzuela again? What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, guys, we will be predicting this Sunday's main event for Zuffa Boxing 8, Edwin De Los Santos versus Jose Valenzuela, the rematch. Now, honestly, this is a quite interesting matchup, but in today's video, we will be going down some strengths and weaknesses of both fighters that I've seen from both of them. Make my full prediction by knockout or decision. Well, before we get any further into the video, y'all, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on notifications when you guys want to see when I upload. Share my videos with your friends and family. Thank y'all for 115 subscribers. Without any further ado, let's get into the video. So, if we look at Jose Valenzuela's last few fights, his last 3 fights, him beating Pitbull Cruz, losing to Gary Antoine Russell, beating Diego Nunez. Listen, Jose Valenzuela, I feel like definitely after that loss that he had to Edwin De Los Santos, I feel like he's definitely improved much better for after that loss to Edwin De Los Santos. If I'm not mistaken, that was the first loss he took. But he lost. I think he lost again. Lost again. Then came on a big, got on a winning streak, beat Pitbull Cruz. And then, lost the belt. Just most recently fought on Zuffa Boxing 2 against Diego Nunez. Now, I want to take a look back at that fight that he had with Diego Nunez. Throughout that fight, he was looking pretty smart. He was moving around. Fighting at his own pace. And listen, Diego Nunez. If you guys, not a lot of you guys are probably gonna say not a lot, but Diego Nunez isn't that known. But if you guys do not know this, Diego Nunez gave Raymond Mortira a tough fight. And Jose Valenzuela, I wouldn't say he starched him, but he definitely did it. He definitely looked pretty dominant coming into that fight with Diego Nunez. Now, Edwin De Los Santos, I think, but the problem I have here for Edwin De Los Santos is not very active, which, you could say it's his fault, you could say it's not his fault. The last time he had good competition, elite competition, was for sure against Shakur Stevenson. I think that was in like 2022, 2023, something like that. And then he didn't fight for a long time after that. Was supposed to fight Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis ended up pulling out because he missed weight. And then he fought, I forgot who he fought, but I think it was like a tune-up fight. And now against Jose Valenzuela, which, it's not, I get he knocked him out when they first fought. But it's not going to be as easy knocking out Jose Valenzuela. But, some strengths I've seen from Edwin De Los Santos, that Edwin De Los Santos is a very good, he has very good boxing power. He has like 17 wins with 15 knockouts. It's very hard to go a whole 10 to 12 rounds with Edwin De Los Santos. Listen, this man made Shakur Stevenson run for 12 rounds, guys. So that shows how hard he really hits. And he's making somebody run like that for 12 rounds. And then, also has a very good counter to left hand. He's a southpaw, so, he's a southpaw, so that left hand, so his counter hand is his left hand, and it's very clean. We've seen him clip people before. It's a very nasty left hand, and then he has very explosive timing. Sometimes when fighters rush in right away, he's very quick to throw some explosive combinations. But some weaknesses I've seen is that he can have a low output throughout the fights. Like, he won't be explosive when he needs to throughout fights, and that's where he kind of lost his fight with William Foster. That's how he lost, because throughout that fight he was having a kind of quite a low output, and he also waits a little bit for counter punches. Sometimes when fighters aren't in their guard, and you kind of see their hands drop, sometimes he waits a little bit too long. He's kind of a little hesitant on throwing those counter punches throughout the fight. Definitely a weakness I've seen is somebody who's slick and disciplined, like Jose Valenzuela. Jose Valenzuela is very disciplined. Now, Jose Valenzuela, a few things I've seen from Jose Valenzuela is that Jose Valenzuela has a good jab and a good straight, especially as a southpaw. His jab is very good. His straight's very good, and he's a good size has good size, good reach advantage for his division, and he's a very solid offense. He has very solid offensive rhythm. Some weaknesses I've definitely seen from Jose Valenzuela is that he can be hit clean. Like even in that first fight with Edwin Dos Santos, he got hit clean a few times. Even in that fight with Gary Antoine Russell, there was a few times where he did get rocked from Gary Antoine Russell, and he sometimes is willing to trade. And this is something that he cannot do coming into this fight with Edwin Dos Santos, because like I said, we all seen Jose Valenzuela before. He sometimes likes to stand and trade. He's willing to trade. And against a guy like Edwin Dos Santos, you can't stand and trade with him because if that happens, Jose Valenzuela will get knocked out cold by Edwin Dos Santos. And he also, sometimes his defense isn't always tight in exchanges. Sometimes it's a little loose throughout the fight, and that's just some things that, there's some weaknesses that you see from fighters that, they wouldn't really have to worry about coming to certain fights. But this fight, Jose Valenzuela needs to keep his guard tight during exchange, because sometimes we see Edwin Dos Santos in these very clean exchanges, and that could be very bad for Jose Valenzuela. Knowing that, I feel like I like this fight better for Jose Valenzuela, because knowing that he already fought him, and knowing that Edwin Dos Santos is not that active. Jose Valenzuela needs to use that to his advantage. I've already fought this guy, and this guy is not as active as me currently. I need to use what I got to my advantages. He may be a little rusty, especially that he hasn't fought on the top in about 3 to 4 years. So it's definitely gonna be a little rusty. He's definitely gonna look a little bit rusty coming into this fight with Jose Valenzuela. I think those early rounds, Jose Valenzuela could take over, but then I feel like towards the later rounds, I feel like Jose Valenzuela cannot get cocky, because one punch from Edwin Dos Santos and he's out lights. He's out cold. Sometimes we do see that, Jose Valenzuela has a good chin, but at the same time, he could get clipped. He's not, he doesn't have the greatest chin. He doesn't have the worst chin. But definitely, when he gets clipped, sometimes he gets a little bit too overpressured. He doesn't know what to do. So what his mindset is that he sometimes likes to trade. And that's something you can't do. But the question here I have in this fight is that, does history repeat itself? Does Edwin Dos Santos knock out Jose Valenzuela again? That's a maybe. I'm not saying that's a possibility, but it's a maybe. But a few things I think that Jose Valenzuela needs to do is that Jose Valenzuela, in my opinion, needs to use that jab, and use that straight. Those are two good things that Jose Valenzuela has, and he has to be very careful on what he does. He has to make sure that as soon as he's done throwing combinations, he moves out the way. He moves out the way and pivots. He can't just stay in one spot against Edwin Dos Santos. And if he does miss a punch, he has to be very quick on resetting himself. Because if he waits 1 second after he misses the punch, he'll get knocked out flat cold, and that will be very bad for Jose Valenzuela. But Edwin Dos Santos, I feel like a few things that Edwin Dos Santos could do in this fight, that he's got to explode early. When you explode early against a guy like Jose Valenzuela, especially that, depending on how hard you hit, it definitely overwhelms him towards the later rounds. He definitely would get a little more tired, because when you're exploding at a guy like Jose Valenzuela, sometimes he likes to trade because he thinks that's the way. But if Jose Valenzuela's not on his game with the footwork, not using good fight IQ, trading and starts trading with Edwin Dos Santos, I can definitely see this being a very easy night for Edwin Dos Santos. But if Jose Valenzuela is on his game, moving around, using that jab, using that straight, landing some body shots, I can definitely see this be a tough task for Edwin Dos Santos. But I think Edwin Dos Santos gets the knockout against Jose Valenzuela. I don't think it's going to be easy, knowing that he's not as active as Jose Valenzuela. Jose Valenzuela has fought, elite competition. I think it could be a struggle for Edwin De Los Santos. I think Edwin De Los Santos gets like a 7th or 8th round knockout coming into this fight. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below who you guys got winning this fight. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button. Turn on notification when you guys want to see when I upload. And like I said, comment down below who you guys got winning. Edwin De Los Santos, Jose Valenzuela by knockout or decision. Thank y'all for 115 subscribers. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.